nice it is to be outside.
Welcome! Whoa! That's my microphone.
Works pretty good.
Thank you. Welcome to the Oregon Area Senior Center Volunteer Appreciation 2022 edition. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all you do. I'm honored to be the president of the Council on Aging, and the council is an all-volunteer advisory board for the senior center. We offer support and advice to the senior center. And this afternoon, the council is just thrilled to be able to thank you for all of your your efforts and your time. Without you, we wouldn't be able to offer nearly as much programming and benefits here for people. So thank you, thank you. Oh, I'm supposed to tell you, my name is Clarice Dewey. The council is very pleased to be able to host this event, to celebrate you and all that you do. And we are very happy to be able to offer food, entertainment, and a small gift as a token of our appreciation for all that you do. We have lots of entertainment. We have Four Seasons Theater Group's entertainment that is our favorite things in their opening act, Anne and Rachel.
Funny how we're always the opening act and we're never the main event.
Oh, I don't know, the Christmas play is pretty much the main event.
Oh, that is true.
So here we are to celebrate our favorite things. And I'm kind of curious, what's your favorite kind of pie?
Cherry, made from Door County cherries. What's your favorite kind of cheese?
Just one? Colby?
You mean not Limburger?
I just
Oh.
like that.
She likes it. She really likes it.
But you have to hold your nose when you eat it. It tastes good. But learning about people's favorite things is kind of fun.
It is fun.
And that's one of the reasons we are making all of you fill out surveys about your favorite things. Because we want to know more about your favorite things. You know, all of you, well, you're some of our favorite things.
Yeah. Oh.
But it's true.
It is true. It's very true. Bum,
Bum, bum, bum, bum, bum, bum, bum, bum, bum, bum, This is harder than it looks. Props. Hairnets and aprons and totes full of lunches, phone calls and mail calls and visitors in bunches. One of you arrives like a fresh breath of spring. That's why volunteers are our favorite things. Gift shop arrangers and newsletter folders, fundraisers, helpers, and gardeners and chauffeurs. We're always amazed at the skills that you bring. That's why volunteers are our favorite things. Capable helpers each day that the club meets, arranging card parties and tallying up sheets. Commitment that helps you earn angel wings. That's why volunteers are our favorite things. When the food spills, when the phone rings, when we're feeling sad, we simply rely on our favorite things, and
I really have to follow that? That was brilliant. Give him one more hand, one more round of applause. Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things. Cream-colored ponies and crisp apple strudels, doorbells and sleigh bells and schnitzel with noodles, wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things. Girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes, snowflakes that stay on my nose and eyelashes, silver white winters that melt into springs. These are a few of my favorite things. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. My name is Tambra Broniano. I am proud to be the outreach coordinator for Four Seasons Theater. Four Seasons Theater is a local company. We are now, well, see, this is where I have a problem with the math. I want to say we're in our 15th season of bringing high-quality musical theater entertainment to Dane County audiences. But our 15th season would have been 2020, and there was this little hiccup in the middle there that sort of messed up the numbering. So I think I'm going to call it our 15th season plus or minus a pandemic, something around there. I'm also a very proud Oregon resident. I'm very pleased to be able to come and perform for you, having driven only about 4 minutes from my house on South Burr Oak Avenue. So it's nice to get to sing to some of my fellow Oregonians today. As you may have guessed from the theme of today's event, the theme for our program today is our favorite things. We often do programs on a particular topic or theme, like we've done outreach programs featuring the music of the Gershwin brothers, or you know, music of women from the golden era of Hollywood. But this year we thought we kind of want to do comfort food songs. We want to do songs that make us happy and make us feel joy, because it's been a rough couple of years for those of us who are singers when we couldn't do the thing that we love to do the most. So today's program is going to be sharing with you some of our favorite songs. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our first performer.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
My name is Laura Christensen, and my first song, when I was a really little girl, I remember watching this movie musical and just loving the story of rags to riches. Just with that little brief description, I bet some of you could probably guess which musical this is from. But this song in particular is the song that Eliza Doolittle sings after she dances with Henry Higgins, her professor. And I just love the story of, you know, the rags to riches. She falls in love with the professor. And also, I think my favorite part of it when I was a little girl was seeing her, you know, transformation. So, of course, costumes in that time period are really fun to see, but it's really fun to watch not only her accent change from the Cockney to the proper British accent that she learns from Henry Higgins, but also her costumes. I just thought they were so pretty. So, without further ado, this is I Could Have Danced All Night from My Fair Lady. Bed, I couldn't go to bed. My head's too light to try to set it down. Sleep, I couldn't sleep tonight, but for all the jewels in the crown. I could have danced all night, I could have danced all night, and still have begged for more.
scene of Yul Brynner and Deborah Carr dancing wildly throughout the palace ballroom in that gorgeous silver gown. And that song, well, particularly that show, has always been really special to me because it was the first musical I ever performed in. I was one of the little Siamese children, and I was actually in 7th grade when I did that show, and played piano during rehearsals for the March of the Siamese Children. And that started a love affair of me playing piano for musical theater. I have since played piano for different companies around the area. I've played piano for the Madison Ballet and Madison Opera auditions, and I just absolutely adore musical theater and playing piano, and I've music directed a few shows for Sun Prairie and other places as well. Getting back to The King and I, it seems, oh, excuse me, no wonder you couldn't hear what I was saying. So getting back to The King and I always found it very interesting as well that Deborah Carr was not actually the singer in that show. The voice was actually dubbed over by Marnie Nixon, who was also the singer of Eliza Doolittle in My Fair Lady for Audrey Hepburn, and Natalie Wood in West Side Story, doing the part of Maria. So from The King and I, this is Shall We Dance? We've just been introduced. I do not know you well, but when the music started, something drew me to your side. So many men and girls are in each other's arms. It made me think we might be similarly occupied. Shall we dance on a bright cloud of music? Shall we fly? Shall we dance? Shall we then say goodnight and mean goodbye? Or perchance, when the last little star has left the sky, shall we still be together with our arms around each other? And will you be my new romance? On the clear understanding that this kind of thing can happen. Shall we dance? Shall we dance? Shall we dance? Or perchance, when the last little star has left the sky, shall we still be together with our arms around each other? And will you be my new romance? On the clear understanding that this kind of thing can happen. Shall we dance? Shall we dance? Shall we dance?
We had a nice little dance theme there to start out our program. I don't think I realized that until just now. So, just out of curiosity, how many folks here would consider themselves to be fans of musical theater of Broadway? Okay, wow, okay, so a good number. So, I thought we could do a quick little challenge. I'm going to ask folks to name either their favorite show or their favorite song, and then we performers are going to see if we can come up with singing at least one line from the show or from the song. Sound good? I'm not going to make Joy play the piano because she doesn't need to keep that much in her head. All right, so with a show of a hand, who has a favorite song or a favorite musical they want to share?
Les Mis.
Les Mis. Anybody?
Pretty much anything from it. So.
Do you hear the people singing the song of angry men? It is a music I chose to keep. Music of the people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drum, there is a light about to start when tomorrow comes. Thank you. Yes. Wicked. Ooh.
Oh, boy.
Can somebody do a Wicked?
Yes, I know all of
the lyrics. Yeah.
well, just one line.
Okay.
Well, I have to remember
gonna be popular.
There you go.
That's all I can remember.
Yeah. I do love that show though. I saw it on Broadway. I know.
Good. All right, can I get one more? Yes? Joseph. Ooh, okay. See, now Joseph, we're getting out of my territory. You guys know Joseph? Yeah? It is good.
I close my eyes, drew back the curtain to see for certain what I thought I knew.
I'm going to take one more if somebody else has a special song or a show. Yes, ma'am. Phantom. Oh.
So give me the title of the song and then I'll
Think
know
of
it.
me.
Oh, yeah. Think of me fondly when we said goodnight.
Thank you all so much. That's delightful. And I love to see so many hands raised that are also fans of musical theater. Obviously, we up here are big fans, which is why we love to share this classic musical theater music with you. Which brings me to our next piece, which is one of my favorite tunes. This is a favorite tune of mine for several reasons. The first, it's a Gershwin tune. And the era of the Great American Songbook is probably my favorite era of songwriting, the era of the Gershwin brothers and Cole Porter and Irving Berlin and all those great songwriters. The second reason that this is one of my favorite songs has to do with the structure of the song. This song is something called a list song or a catalog song. If you're not familiar with that type of song, it literally is what it sounds like. It's a song that features a list of things. Cole Porter wrote a bunch of these. Birds do it, bees do it, even educated fleas do it, right? It's a list of animals who are doing it. You're the top, you're the Coliseum, you're the top, you're the Louvre Museum, you're a melody from a symphony, but it's just a list of things. It doesn't really tell a story or have a narrative to it. The neat thing about this particular list song, though, is it starts out as a list song, and you don't discover until the bridge of the melody that it's actually a love song, too. So I just think that's just a very clever structure that they've created. The last reason that I love this tune is personal. The year that we did a Gershwin program, my dear friend Amy sang this song, and I got to sit in one of these chairs and listen to her do this tune over and over again. And so singing this song makes me think of my friend Amy, and I smile. This is They All Laughed. They all laughed at Christopher Columbus when he said the world was round. They all laughed when Edison recorded sound. They all laughed at Wilbur and his brother when they said that man could fly. They told Marconi wireless was a phony. It's the same old cry. They laughed at me, wanting you. Said I was reaching for the moon, but oh, you came through. Now they'll have to change their tune. They all said we never could be happy. They laughed at us and how. But ho, 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 who's got the last laugh now? They all laughed at Rockefeller Center. Now they're fighting to get in. They all laughed at Whitney and his cotton gin. They all laughed at Fulton and his steamboat, Hershey and his chocolate bar. Ford and his Lizzie kept the laughers busy. That's how people are. They laughed at me, wanting you. Said it would be hello, goodbye. But oh, you came through. Now they're eating humble pie. They all said we'd never get together. Darling, let's take a bow. For ho, 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 who's got the last laugh? He, let's at the past laugh. Ha, 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 who's got the last laugh now?
lead role, I should say, as like a middle schooler, a long time ago. And this song from it has kind of followed me through my career and even into motherhood. I sang this song at a theater in Alaska for a pre-show song that entertained the crowds, and then now I have a 3.5-year-old little guy, and it's one of the songs that he requests almost nightly. I'm keeping my fingers crossed he still lets me sing to him as he gets older, but we'll see. Right now it's great. Right now it's, Mama, sing a song, and then I get to sing. But he's my audience of one. So I'm going to share this song with you, and one interesting thing about it is a lot of older songs have this intro that we're not all as familiar with, because sometimes when people start to record it and do different versions of it as time goes on, they just start with the well-known part of the song. So I'm going to start with that intro, and we'll see how many of you figure out what song it is and how quickly. When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens its magic lane. When all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found, leading from your window pane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond the rain.
Very influential in expanding my musical horizons when I was growing up, and he would make these wildly eclectic mixtapes for road trips that would have Bach next to the music from Oliver the Musical, next to Jethro Tull, and Frank Sinatra. There was no transition in between these two. And so it was very fitting when I came across this duet that was sung by Judy Garland and his other favorite female artist, Barbra Streisand. Barbra Streisand actually performed on Judy Garland's show in 1963. She had a single year running show where she had different guests come on and perform with her. And so this duet is very special to me, that it combines those two amazing artists, and it's also two fantastic songs. Happy Days Are Here Again and Get Happy from Judy Garland's movie Summer Stock with Gene Kelly. The other reason this duet is so special to me is that in 2014 I had the great honor of singing this duet with the Four Seasons Theater ladies in our production of Great Dames, leading ladies of stage and screen. And I even got to sing it with Tamara here. So this is very nice to get to do again. Forget your troubles.
Happy days.
Come on, get happy.
Are here again.
You better chase all your cares away.
Are clear again.
Shout hallelujah.
So let's sing
Come
a
on,
song
get happy.
of cheer again.
Get ready for the judgment day. The sun is shining.
All together.
Come on, get happy.
Shout it.
The Lord is waiting to take your hand.
Down and out.
Shout hallelujah.
So let's
And just get happy.
out and now.
We're going to the promised land. We're heading across the river. Soon your cares will all be gone.
There'll be no more from now on.
From now on, forget your troubles and just get happy. You better chase all your blues away. Shout hallelujah and just get happy.
Of cheer again. Happy time.
Happy time.
Happy night.
Happy nights, happy days are here again.
All right. So this next song that I'm going to bring you is from one of my very favorite musical theater songwriters, a man named Jason Robert Brown. If you're not familiar with him, he won the Tony Award for a musical called Parade. He also wrote The Last 5 Years, which was made into a film. He did an adaptation of The Bridges of Madison County. Busy current Broadway songwriter, and just a really, I think, an amazing artist. He wrote this next song the morning after a really difficult day. This is a song called Hope. I come to sing a song about hope. I'm not inspired much right now, but even so, I came out here to sing a song, so here I go. I come to sing a song about hope. In spite of everything ridiculous and sad, though I'm beyond belief depressed, confused, and mad. Well, I got dressed. I underestimated how much that would take. I didn't break until right now. I sing of hope and don't know how. Well, maybe I can substitute strength because I'm strong. I'm strong enough. I got through lots of things I didn't think I could. And so did you. I know that's true. And so I sing a song about hope. Though I can't guarantee there's something real behind it, I have to try to show my kids that I can find it. And so today, when life is crazy and impossible to bear, it must be there. Fear never wins. That's what I hope. See, I said hope. The work begins. Thank you. So, that song has been a favorite of mine since it came out in 2016, but it became a real true favorite of mine during the pandemic. You know, I think we all have our stories of the pandemic, stories of feeling isolated, feeling scared, feeling frustrated, feeling bored, feeling hopeless. And I think it's good, you know, as we, you know, fingers crossed, come out of this time of pandemic, that we share some of these stories with each other. So with your permission, I'm gonna share with you my pandemic story. This story takes place back in March of 2020, just as things were beginning to shut down. I had to pack up my office at my job, where I'm a technical writer, and try to recreate my workspace on my dining room table. I had to try to help my two kids figure out their schedules and the links and the synchronous versus asynchronous learning and all the new terminology we were learning to try to keep them on track with their high school and their middle school classes. And my husband at the time had been sick with a cold, and he got worse rather suddenly. And for the first time in my life, I had to call 911 for an ambulance. And as the young men got him situated on the gurney and got him rolling towards the ambulance, one of them turned back to me and said, "You know you can't come with him, right?" And I nodded. And that was one of the scariest moments of my life. Now my story takes a good turn here. His pneumonia was treatable. He was released back home. But this was the time when COVID testing wasn't readily available yet and wasn't readily reliable. So they didn't really know what he had. So the doctors told me, well, you need to isolate him in one room of your house, and then you need to isolate your entire household from the rest of the world. So for the next week, I was making meals to bring up to him in our bedroom, sleeping in my son's other bunk bed, trying to keep up on all of my meetings on my laptop on the dining room table, trying to keep the kids on their school schedules, disinfecting everything in the house with those wipes that we were all using, you know, asking my neighbors to bring us groceries and leave them on the porch for me. I was barely holding it all together. So the church that I attend had just moved its services online that week. And so for that first Sunday, I sat on the sofa in my living room with my laptop on my lap and a pair of my son's gaming headphones borrowed from his Xbox. And I clicked the link to join in with the online service. And when the choir director asked everyone to join him in singing a hymn, I started to sing and immediately burst into tears. all the worries, all the feelings, all the everything, it all came out as soon as I started to sing. And you know, I think singing has a certain magic to it. It allows us to let things out and at the same time to let other people in. It bypasses our borders in this special way and connects us to each other. And you know, part of why we do what we do is for that connection that we make with other people when we all sing together. So on that Sunday, singing that hymn, sitting on my sofa with my laptop on my lap and the gaming headphones on my head, singing that hymn anchored me back to myself in a way that's difficult for me to describe even now. So in the spirit of that magic connection that singing can bring us, I'd like to ask you to join me in a hymn, regardless of your spiritual beliefs or your personal faith tradition. This is an American hymn. I think you'll recognize it. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see.
Well, my next and last song is it's a newer musical, so I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory on the musical and its origin. So it's 1904, and a successful London playwright, J.M. Barrie, has a serious case of writer's block. And while he's working on his new play, he recognizes that there's really nothing original about it. The characters and the plots are just the same as the ones he's written before, and he's just feeling really low and that it's potentially the end of his career when he meets a lovely and caring widow by the name of Sylvia Davies and her 4 sons, George, Peter, Jack, and Michael. Keep those names in mind. They are relevant. He meets them in Kensington Park, and they begin to embark on adventures of imagination together, all except Peter, who is unwilling to play and still in mourning from his father's death. So as Barrie helps Peter learn to play again, his writer block suddenly gives way to a new art form, children's theater. Adults at the time were very skeptical and unsupportive, and wondering, who will come to a play to see children, and who will play these characters, and how will they make Peter Pan fly? So, as most of you probably have guessed, this is the story of Peter Pan, and more recently, a newer musical has been written called Finding Neverland. And this story is actually based on these true events that led J.M. Barrie to create Peter Pan. And the song that I'm about to sing is actually sung by that widow, Sylvia Davies, after she meets J.M. Barrie. So this is called All That Matters. There are days when I feel so afraid I can hardly remember to breathe. When reality crashes in wave after wave, pulling me further beneath. So what's the point in planning for a future if it all can be stolen away? It's all I can do to hold on and survive when the colors have faded. children need so much more from me, and they give me the strength to go on, whatever may come. All that matters now is where I go from here. There's an easier way if I live for today. The beating of my heart is all that matters. He makes sense of all of my chaos in ways I can never explain. He turns all of my sadness into a smile. He's helping me live life again. It's the light in the eyes of my children. It's the sound of their laughter once more. It's the glimpse of a life I dared only to dream, and a dream only life could restore. And I know that some may not understand, but he's guiding me safely to shore, not afraid anymore. All that matters now is where I go from here. There's an easier way if I live for today. The singing in my heart is all that matters. It takes me far away. There's an easier way if I live for today. The singing in my heart is all that matters.
Who here has seen the 1967 movie Thoroughly Modern Millie? A few. It's really weird, right? I love that movie, but it is very strange. But the music in it is fantastic. That movie starred Julie Andrews, Mary Tyler Moore, and Carol Channing to round off a fantastically weird group of ladies together. The music in that, like I said, was really wonderful, and I grew up watching that movie and loved listening to my mom's record that I'd put on in the living room and dance around to it, trying not to skip the record, and was very excited in 2002 when that became a Broadway musical. Although, like I said, the music was great, they only kept about 3 of the songs from the movie and created a whole bunch of new music, which, by the way, was all great too. Spoiler alert, fantastic music in the new one as well. And with that musical, I fell in love with Sutton Foster, who became the Tony Award winner newbie to Broadway, playing the lead role of Millie. She actually had a memoir come out this year or last year, and I just read it, and it is wonderful. And she talks about how growing up, people thought she was a little off because she was just very passionate and energetic, and her parents were like, do you have ADHD? And she's like, no, I just need to be in theater. And she found theater, and that was like her community. She found acceptance and just was so happy, and that was her outlet. And I love that because I related to that. I started getting really big into musical theater in middle school, high school, which are very awkward years for any kid. So being able to find that community was just wonderful, and having this outlet, being able to sing for you is just soul quenching for all of us. So that makes me very happy to sing this next song for you from Thoroughly Modern Millie called Gimme Gimme, in which Sutton Foster describes it as the 11 o'clock number of the show, in which Millie describes her decision to choose between love and money. A simple choice, nothing more. This or that, either or. Marry well, social world, businessmen, clever girl. Or pin my future on the boy I love. What kind of life am I dreaming of? I say, gimme, gimme. Gimme, gimme. Gimme, gimme. That thing called love. I want it. Gimme, gimme. That thing called love. I need it. Highs and lows, tears and laughter. Gimme happy ever after. Gimme, gimme that thing called love. Gimme, gimme that thing called love. I crave it. Gimme, gimme that thing called love. I'll brave it, thick and thin, rich or poor times. Gimme years and all one more time. Gimme, gimme that thing called love. Gimme, gimme that thing called love. I'm free now. Gimme, gimme that thing called love. I see no fly dove, sing sparrow. Gimme Cupid's famous arrow. Gimme, gimme that thing called love. I don't care if he's a nobody. In my heart he'll be a somebody, somebody to love me. I need it. Give me that thing called love. I want it. Here I am, St. Valentine. My bags are packed. I'm first in line. Aphrodite, don't forget me. Romeo and Juliet, me fly dove, sing sparrow. Give me fat boy's famous arrow. Gimme, gimme that thing called love.
So before we get to our final number of the program, I want to take a moment and acknowledge these wonderful performers that we've been enjoying this afternoon. Starting from the far right, Miss Laura Christensen, Miss Lisa Erdman, and at the piano, the woman without whom we would be dreadfully lost, Miss Joy Bauman. We want to thank you so much for allowing us to share with you some of our favorite things. I would encourage you, I would challenge you in the next week to share some of your favorite songs with someone that you care about. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad.
All right, I promise I'm not going to say it. That's applause in themselves now that you've heard professionals. Yeah, yes, it's been spoiled for us forever now. I do have just a few announcements to make, at the end of which we'll announce the winners of our last number of active volunteers we had in the year that ended at the end of August, or the number of hours they put in, you will be winning a $10 gift card to the Firefly. So, don't leave now. Got your attention, right? So, just a couple of announcements. Number one, in our dining room, where we're going to proceed to in a few moments for some snacks and cake, you will see two people who may not look familiar to you. They are employees of RSVP of Dane County, RSVP being an organization that coordinates volunteers. And so they're helping us say thank you to our volunteers today, because we don't think volunteers should actually have to work at the volunteer rate. So they asked me to let you know that for those of you who are signed up with RSVP, they're having their 50th anniversary party in October, and RSVP volunteers who have been active with that organization have gotten invitations in the mail. If by chance you have misplaced your invitation or didn't get it returned, they ask just that you let them know, and they'll take care of making sure that you get signed up for the RSVP program on October 6th. So we'll look forward to seeing some of you there again then. Number two, Clarice, at the beginning of this afternoon's event, mentioned that the Council on Aging was happy to be able to provide each of you with a small gift as a token of appreciation for your efforts here at the center. We're going to be handing those out during the snack and socializing portion of this, so don't sneak out the door. If you've decided you just don't need the calories involved in that, don't leave before you get your envelope with your name on it, because that is your gift. And we're going to get to the winners of these questions, after which we'll start dismissing rows. And you know, when you came in, Ann was saying, sit in the front row, they get to go through the whole time first. She wasn't kidding.
I wasn't kidding.
You will get to go through the big number. So we had two questions at the bottom of your surveys, and it said, take a guess to win a prize. So there's no surprise here. Those were the ones you needed to answer. How many volunteers gave their time to the Senior Center between September 1, 2021 and August 31st, 2022? Well, I can give you a little hint today that you all here in the audience are, well, you're probably about a third of the number of active volunteers that we have. So the person who guessed the closest is Irene Draper. And this is actually a much harder question, and that is how many total hours did they?
How many volunteers are there?
152.
Okay.
Holy smokes, 152. The other ones knew we were going to sing and chose not to come today.
We were paid not to sing one time.
Yeah, we were paid not to sing one time. Somebody made a donation to the organization. I'm not kidding.
And
She's
it's somebody in this audience.
Yeah, she's in the audience. So she obviously forgot. The total number of hours works out to be more than 3 full-time employees. So depending on what kind of math you're doing in your head right now, I won't do that to you. The total number of hours that we got from volunteers during that year was 7,905, and I will tell you that the person who guessed the closest was only off by, well, she underestimated by 90. So that was extremely good, and I wonder if she knows who she is, or if I'm just going to randomly dance out there and shock someone. Here it comes, here it comes. Who guessed so close?
The same person?
Thank you all for all that you do all year long. We appreciate you very much. We could not do a fraction of what we accomplish in this community without all of your help and the help of the other 100 of you who couldn't be here today. So, first row, Come on in and enjoy some food.
Go through the